everyone how important Sam and
ITAM's
ITAM
amazing.
let's take it back a little bit, and we should say for the audience that are watching this, we're doing these first series of interviews with the ambassadors for the Community Hub of Abstrato. I'm overseeing them. We're doing them for 15-20 minutes. The reason why they're so short is because if I'm terrible at this or annoying, then the audience has only got to watch it for 15-20 minutes. After that, we can then bring someone else in, or we'll find some other solution. But videos are definitely going to stay. Now, on that basis, let's talk about David and how you got into SAM and ITAM. Because I know we talk about ITAM now, but when you first started, it was very much the focus on SAM, right? When was that? 2006, did you say?
Yeah, so 2006 was when it was my father wanted me to go through some software boxes, because back in the day it was all software boxes, right? It was CD cases, those big cardboard boxes that had a proof of entitlement certificate if they were from Microsoft, and some other vendors, like serial numbers actually on the back of the box, etc. Basically, for a few days a week, he just wanted me to come in, jot down all of the serial numbers, put them in a centralized spreadsheet, and then he had a cupboard in his office that he wanted organized and sorted out in like alphabetical order by vendor. Log all the serial numbers, get scans of all of the proof of entitlement records, put it all in a centralized area. So I did that in 2006, and venomously told him that I would not.
Was your dad an IT manager or in?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So he worked.
I had a picture of him at home with all this different licensing and software.
No, he's so he was he's been in IT like his whole life. He worked for the same company for 40 plus years until he retired a few years ago.
Wow.
He was there, the whole time. And yeah, he was impressive. He had a huge scope as well. It was a smallish organization, but you don't, until you actually get into IT, you don't realize the scope that he had. Like, he was doing everything, managing the service desk, sorting out all the servers, floor plans, air conditioning in server rooms, the server room itself, and then SAM and licensing back in the day. But yeah, it got to the point where we'd done all of that. We'd got the book, the system in his cupboard, etc. And I just told him, I said, I'm not doing IT. It's like, no, I really want to work in HR. HR is where I wanted to work.
You're in HR, people person.
That fortunately, because it was with his company, they used to do commercial trainee type roles where you went around different areas and, you did a 2-year thing. They stopped it the year that I wanted to do it, which is kind of a blessing in the end, because it pointed me back down to in 2008. It was like, okay, well, we've got a new technology in now. You remember what you did a few years ago? Do you want to come in? I was still studying at the time. I was like, do you want to come in? Again, a few days a week. Those few days a week turned into full time. The weekly, we'll get you back next week, turned into 9 months and full on SAM basically. And I got the bug.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just the bug, the ITAM SAM bug, just bit me hard.
What bit was it, do you think? So for me, it was always here's a mess. Here's an absolute mess, and we've got to get from A to B, and it's got to be as quick as possible. And I used to love, as a young consultant, I was kind of all right at selling, but I loved going in and doing that kind of fact-finding and then figuring out the most direct route for success. What was it for you?
Do you know, a lot of it was the visual organization of things. In the tool that they had, it was the seeing all of the licenses information in there, seeing the ELPs in there, making sure that all the right costs were there. It was all of the kind of OCD management around it. And then it was, once everything was in there, it was like, okay, so where can we improve? I was like, oh, dude, I have no idea, mate. You've just asked me to put some stuff in a spreadsheet. Now you're asking me where we can improve. So it was like learning about license optimization. And it was like, so if someone's not using something, we can actually get that back and then give it to someone else instead of buying a new one. So you're actually saving money. I was like, oh, okay, right. Okay, pennies dropping here. Okay, so let's do some. Let's have a look at some internal. Didn't know what internal audits was until you Google it and have a look. You used to get magazines as well. He used to keep the IT magazines that used to, it used to be spam. But when he saw anything to do with licensing or SAM, it'd be like, here you go, have a look at that. And it was cool. Doing the software audits, doing the renewals, even starting to do renewals. I was having calls with Microsoft. I had no idea what I was doing. I was talking to them about Windows Server license renewals. I was like, no idea what I'm doing here. I didn't say that obviously on the calls, but I was like acting as if I did with Google open, going, yeah, licensed by processor. Yeah, we've only got X amount of process because it was pre moving to cores. And honestly, it was just that, okay, whoa, hold on. Everyone's got software here. There's budgets. I can save money on this. I can implement certain things like processes and controls that will not only save the money in the first round, but maintain those savings every year
Yeah.
to make sure that people are only requesting what they need. People aren't bringing their own licensing. That if it's not being used for a certain period of time, that we get it back, etc. And yeah, it was just that kind of bug got me. I became obsessed with saving money. I became obsessed with processes and documentation and controls, and it just spiraled from there, to be honest.
I think it's what you've just run through there is what if you talk with a vast majority of people that have been doing for 15, 20 years, it's very similar. Although I think the cool tie with doing something with your dad, that's pretty cool and nice.
I got incredible. It was incredible to work with your dad, but then at the same time it set an unrealistic expectation for other jobs, right? Because he was the boss, because he gave me such a free rein, because I was the only one doing Sam there. It was very much a case of I was pitching him things that were way above my station, bearing in mind I had no experience, but he was giving me that opportunity to go, I want to implement this process to do that. And he was going, okay, yeah, send me the document, do whatever, I'll check over it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then that set an unrealistic expectation when I went into another role where I'm used to being the only SAM person there. I was the one that was saying which audits we were doing. I was the one leading renewals. So then going and being an administrator that was literally almost like pencil pushing every day. You were just a number in a large organization.
Yeah.
And that was a real, I didn't expect that because my working experience was like, okay, I trust you, you're the SAM person. Just, obviously get me to sign stuff off to go and no, you're one of 6, 7 people. You're the lowest rung. You're an administrator. It was like, yo, this is not for me. I'm used to like being the one driving.
Maybe that was a good thing then. I mean, doing that with your dad where he gave you that freedom and ability to, look and find a problem and then apply a solution and then execute on it is probably the reason why you're doing what you're doing now. Because, well, you just said, you go into many organizations and SAM for a lot of large organizations is about, right, we need a SAM team and you basically are going to be order fulfillment. So when someone wants a piece of software, you manage that process. And that's what we're going to do for SAM. And really, that's not SAM. That's just ordering software and keeping like a record of it. But it's not doing SAM how you do it or how we do it. That's a really interesting point. So you've got a lot to thank for your dad in that respect.
100%. He's hero status. He's and also then seeing, because obviously you're used to him going to work, but actually seeing what he does every day and the level of respect he had. And I worked out in with the service desk guys, and it was honestly every day was just the amount of probably he definitely knows the amount of laughs and stuff that we had out there. Again, it just set an unrealistic expectation. Like it was like people were kind of like my age and a bit older, and we just all got on really well. And it was like, oh my God, work's amazing. Is this what it's like? You get paid to do this? And then I got a proper job where, it was a SAM admin role. And I really found that tough because, like I said, I was in a team. I could see everything that I'd done before could be done there as well. It was a case of there's so much opportunity here, but there was loads of other stakeholders involved and they all had their arms around certain bits. And there was a hierarchy in the SAM team. And there was one lady that I worked with who had quite a bit of SAM experience. And I used to talk to her about what I'd done before. And she wasn't the manager, but she was like the manager's, right-hand lady. And she was awesome because she was like, look, I know you're frustrated here. I get it. Everything you've told me, you've got huge potential. Just don't get too frustrated here. Just take everything that you're learning, just learn from it, grow from it, build from it. And she really kind of kept me on like this isn't what it's going to be like forever. Like I've had the rose tinted glasses over here of leading, Sam to being bottom of the pile as an administrator in a bigger team. She's like, no, just keep going, keep doing your research, keep learning. She was incredible. and then it kind of spiraled like this isn't for me. I'm not. I can't just be another number in an organization. I've got to make a difference. This isn't right for me. And then it kind of it just went from there. It was a case of I got a short-term contract with the Greater London Authority in London when Boris Johnson was mayor. It was only a short-term thing, but that gave me it was a much smaller team again. I did a lot of really good, ITAM work that kind of validated, okay, what you did with Pops was it works in other organizations. It wasn't just a one trick pony. It's worked here. I learned a lot there as well, and then I applied for a global SAM manager role at the age of 21, 22. Bearing in mind I'd only had, I was like, what's the worst can happen? Bearing in mind I'd only had like 3 or 4 years worth of experience then. And I got to the interview and they just basically said, what would you do? And I just told them what I'd do. And I got the job. I couldn't believe I'd gone from like admin to global SAM manager in like a year or even less than that. And again, it was a design house. They did a lot of, designing for football stadiums and the Olympics and stuff. It was literally just after the Olympics. And again, it was such an awesome place to learn about, the wider global scale of SAM. Again, it was really SAM focused because back in the day, Ham had no love. But I'm sure we'll touch on why Sam got love. Why Ham got love. Sorry, Sam always had the love because of audits. Audits. Compliance. And yeah, I learned so much there. I worked for in an amazing team that were like so supportive. It was like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. The VP was like, look, don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you need me, lean on this person. And yeah, just learned so much more about how global organizations work, about how licensing works. Even back then, moving a Microsoft agreement to America was like a big cost savings because of the currency conversion. There was just so many awesome people there. And I learned so much that, again, just it kept boosting the confidence. And I was like looking around like there's no one shouting about this. Why is no more people knowing about SAM? Why is no more people talking about it? Why are they not sharing what they're doing? And that's when I contacted the ITAM review and was like, I need an outlet. Look, I've only been doing this like 4 years. I think it was like 4 years now, but I need an outlet. I need to tell people what we're doing because someone else might find it useful. And then it all went a bit mad from there really. And but yeah, the start of it was very mixed. It was amazing working for Pops, a massive reality check on, okay, not everywhere is the same as where you've been, to build back up again. But that's how careers go, right? I'm a firm believer. Everything happens for a reason. I've worked with some absolutely amazing, as a full-time employee, some amazing companies, met amazing people who I still talk to today, but then also had some not so amazing experiences where, you're told we've only hired Sam or ITAM because we've had an audit, and just sit there and just comply with whatever we're telling you to do. But everything happens for a reason, right? As long as you learn from it, you can apply that in, as you go along now. And I wouldn't change any of the experiences that I've had because it's put me where I am now.